not the video where we paint the S14, but the good news is we are officially one step closer. So I took the car over to my uncle's shop a couple days ago and the primer is officially on the car. It's been a couple of days now and the primer is all dry, so it's ready to be sanded. I'm planning on sanding the entire car with 320. What you guys are seeing on the primer is just some spray paint. It's kind of like an indicator to when you need to stop sanding. Not sure if that's just like a dummy proof thing that some people do or if this is what all painters do, but he did it for me probably because it's my first time and I don't want to over sand it. But the entire front end, everything turned out pretty legit. I had that little ding over here and it's all smooth, so really happy with how this all turned out. Coming back here, the quarter panel and the trunk also feels really smooth. This is where we had everything welded, so I'm pretty happy with all this. I think it's legit. It's a pass in my book. But coming over to this quarter panel, some bad news. As soon as we put the primer on, I noticed a pretty fat dent right there. I don't know if you guys could see it, but it was not there before. I have no clue how it got there. Not too worried about it. I just gotta sand that primer off, apply a little bit of Bondo, and that should be good. Obviously I'm gonna take the plastics off on the inside and see if I could push that dent out somehow before I do that. Also got some new parts that I gotta install in the car before this thing goes to paint. Officially have a paint date set, should be in early May. The car should be ready for paint by the end of this video. One other thing I wanted to do was test fit the T7Rs on the S14. These are the wheels that I'm gonna be running on this car for the most part, so I just wanna make sure that they fit in the rear before this thing gets painted. That way, if we need to pull the quarter panels a little bit more, we can still do that. Hopefully not though. I don't even want to touch those quarter panels. I've done enough work back there, so hopefully they fit just fine. I guess let's start with the fun part. Take the wheels off, test fit them on there, and start sanding this thing. It's almost ready for paint, guys. We're almost there. Let's go. So it's the next day, the car is all sanded, and this just gets me even more excited to get the car painted. Seeing the whole panel in one color, and it looks really good. The T7Rs fit perfectly. I really like how that looks. Same with this side, the fitment is pretty good, but obviously I'm still gonna have to do some adjustments and go lower and whatnot. The 10.5s are just perfect for these chassis, but now it's time to take these off, throw them back on the S2000 because that just looks pretty ridiculous. The next step with the S14 is to get that quarter panel dent fixed and also install these side skirts. Yeah, I guess let's take those wheels off, get this thing washed, and then we'll continue working on the S14 another day. So my boy Michael's here now. Just threw my T7Rs on here just to kind of tease him and try to get him to buy wheels already. It's working, huh? Yeah. Wheels for this thing coming soon. But as for the S14, last night I popped the plastic off on the inside and I tried pushing this dent out, but honestly it's just very tight in there and there's no way I'm gonna push that out. And the dent is very shallow. It's not deep at all, so I'm just gonna throw some Bondo on there and that should be good. But right now, what we're gonna do is try to install these side skirts. So these are from Forceworks, and honestly, I don't even know how to pronounce them. I don't know if it's Navon, all these like S chassis pronunciations, I'm not even sure of. As for these, I'll just say Navin, but got that Dremel to install them because they are fiberglass and they're gonna require some trimming for sure. I've never worked with fiberglass before, so this is gonna be fun, bro. I'm excited. Let's do it. I'm just gonna mock them up, do all the trimming that's required for now, and then we'll throw them on, see how they look, and then once we go into paint, I'll just rip them off, get them painted, and call it good. All right, so I'm gonna start with the passenger side skirt. I already test fit that one before, and I was able to get it to stay on, but this one, on the other hand, was way off. If you come look at it, we'll start with putting them on the front, and then if you come back here, with it all the way on the front, there's like ½ an inch that we still have to pull it. And I don't want to break the fiberglass, but if you look at that, that's pretty far off. So this is definitely a two-man job probably gonna have to hold it up front while I just stretch it back here. Another thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna loosen the fender, try to pull it a little closer this way. There is a screw in here that I don't have, so that might help it a bit. It's gonna bring the fender a little further back. Oh, this is gonna suck. Like, that's why you don't buy aftermarket skirts. But these OEM skirts are like stupid expensive. The last set I saw was in Portland and they were like over $1,000. So not trying to go that route. This is just like a temporary skirt because I do have a kit I'm gonna be running. Start mocking it up. So I just made like just like a baseline. Pretty much this is where I'm gonna mount it. This is all just excess that we probably don't need. So I think if I cut all this off, it'll be a lot easier to just slide the skirt on. So I'm just gonna use this disc at first. And then once we cut it off, we'll use some of the sandpaper just to fine it out. Hopefully I'm doing this right. This is my first time installing like side skirts or fiberglass or anything in that field. So I honestly have no clue what I'm doing. I didn't even watch any videos on installs or anything like that. We're just sending it, hoping that it works out.
Sending it, what we do best.
The thing is, you cut too much off, you're pretty much screwed, but we should be fine. Being serious. Don't breathe fiberglass. Side skirt on, and it looks pretty good from a couple feet away. If you get up close, then you can see there's a few little gaps here, which I think I'll be able to fix down the road. I'm just gonna end up dremeling a little bit more, and I also have some magnets. They're in the house, but I got some like super strong magnets, and that's how I'm planning on running my skirts. I'm gonna probably put some magnets underneath here just to make sure that it's secured. That's what I'm gonna be using for the side skirts when I install my kit as well. I don't want to drill into the quarter panel or use rivets or anything. I just don't really like how that looks. But yeah, as for this skirt, straight from Forceworks, it fits pretty good. Like I said, from a couple feet away, it looks legit. This should have been the first thing I got for this car after coilovers. It just looked so naked without the side skirts in it. Side skirts really make such a big difference. Yes, sir. That looks fire. I'm really happy with the skirts. One thing, I just kind of threw them on. I still got to do some trimming to make it fit a little better. But I'm also planning on running some like side splitters. So I'm gonna make some of those. I made them for the S1400. If you guys haven't seen that video, go check it out. But yeah, I'm planning on doing the same thing with this car. So I'm gonna make some splitters for the side skirts, front bumper. I don't think I'm gonna do anything with the rear bumper. Maybe I'll find a diffuser down the road, but yeah, I think it'll look really sick with the side splitters. But yeah, that looks fire. I can't wait to get this thing painted, man. All right, so the dent is fixed. It's pretty smooth now. I don't feel it at all. I still got to sand a few of the little extra spots over here, but I'm off to one of my buddy's house real quick. He's gonna be primering some of his parts, so he's gonna primer this real quick and then it should be good to go. So quarter panel is all sanded, the dent is gone, and it feels really smooth. So happy with how this turned out. Shout out to the homie for doing all this work for me. But other than that, the car is pretty much all sanded with 320. Now I just have to go over the entire car one more time, except this time I'll be wet sanding with 600. But before we do that, I also have one more part that I need to install. So what we have here is a Greddy style lip. It's not a real Greddy lip because they are back ordered. I talked to someone that actually stocks the Greddy lips and they are stuck on the ship, so that's fine with me. I ended up going with this eBay lip, which is super flexible. I think it's like the same material they use for the KBD kits, which is cool for me because if I end up hitting anything, it shouldn't crack or anything like that. I was considering an OEM lip, but those are insanely pricey. I had someone quote me one $2,500 shipped to my door, so definitely not going that route. That's not where I'm going with this build. This is gonna be a drift car, so definitely not trying to rock a $2,500 lip. But anyways, let's throw this lip on, show you guys what it looks like. guys, so at this point I would say the S14 is pretty much 99% ready for paint. I got the entire car wet sanded with 600. I got the door seals, the trunk seals, and everything removed. I'm planning on having the door jambs painted somewhere up to probably around this point. I don't want this color to be visible anywhere with like the doors or the trunk open. So I'm gonna have this all sprayed as well. But the only thing left is to pretty much just have the quarter panel, front and rear windshields removed. I do have a guy coming to do that in a couple of days, but I'll probably just include that in the paint video. So yeah, I guess that's gonna be pretty much it for the prep. I know it's been a really long time since I started prepping this car, but we're pretty much almost there. The next video, the S14, will be in one color. I'm super excited, hope you guys are as well. And yeah, thanks for watching this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one.